Welcome back to Newtown Orchard and Nursery. Would you believe that this plant was only a 4-inch long stick back in June? Isn't that beautiful? Well, come with me. I'm going to show you how you can propagate your own Rose of Sharons into these beautiful bushes in such a short period of time. And it's so easy. So again, come on along. I brought you over to my Rose of Sharon patch. I've got quite a variety here. These flowers here have closed up. These behind me, if you can see, I've got white over here. I've got a beautiful pinkish purple. And truth of the matter is, we only had this one plant here when we moved down to this farm a few years back. We've been propagating them and expanding them, and they're all around me now. This is our Rose of Sharon patch. So we're going to grab one of these branches. Do we grab a white or a pink? And we're going to cut it so I can show you how to propagate it. Simple. Oh, let's do a white. Okay, come over here to our whites. We have one, looks like one bloom that's open. The rest of these have closed up for the day. Let's find ourselves a nice hefty plant to prune. Oh, let's see here. This branch right here, about what, half the width of my finger? All right, so got a nice branch here. Let's go over to the studio. I'll show you what we're going to do next. But before we do that, let's take a side trip. I got something else I want to show you. Over on this side of the house, we have a beautiful yellow flame willow. Let me show you a good use for this plant. As you can see, this plant's about 5 foot, 6 foot tall. It's only a year old. It grows fast. And there's a reason it grows fast. So we're going to come down to the bottom here, snip that branch off. All right, I've got my willow branch. I've got my Rose of Sharon branch. Now let's head over to the studio. Okay, here we are in the studio. Again, my Rose of Sharon and the willow branch. Willow, we're going to put that aside for now. We'll get back to you in a moment. Now, before I went out and pruned the Rose of Sharon, I have a little plastic container you pick up from the grocery store. I put holes, I melted holes in the bottom so water can drain through, and then I filled it with sand. This is simply play sand from your box stores. I also picked up, what does I call these, Ziploc bag? Or a zip tight bag, I guess most people are calling them now. All right, and I'll show you a use for this as well. Now this stem is filled with these little nodules or nodes, and this is where branches come out of to produce the leaves. This is also where the roots will be produced. First thing we're going to do is take our Rose of Sharon. Next we're going to cut them, like I said, in about 3.5 inch, maybe 4 inch lengths. Now in cutting your Rose of Sharon branch, the side that's going to go down into the sand, cut that end on an angle. Because once you cut this up into a bunch of little sticks, you're not going to remember what side's up and what side's down. And those poor plants don't like growing upside down. And these little skinny branches on the side, save those. We'll propagate them as well. As these branches get skinnier, the pruners don't go clean through. So I'll use a pair of scissors to clean that up. All right, so we got a handful of Rose of Sharon stems. Then we'll cut these little branches off. I'm going to cut these branches in half. Cut the leaves in half. So next is our root tone. In the past, I used the stuff I buy from the box stores. And they work. They're just fine. But willow, in my opinion, is even better. Willow is so high in rooting hormones that it grows in 1 year 5 feet. And if you blend this into water, you create what's referred to as willow water, which in itself is a root tone. That now will place those hormones in any stick that you put in there, so you don't need to use the powder. If you grow this in your yard, you'll have all the root tone you want. So I'm going to strip the leaves off. And because it's so long, I don't need anywhere near this much. So I'm going to start with the first ones. Cut them on an angle like I did with the Rose of Sharon. Cut long enough to where I have at least 3 nodes. And again, as it gets skinnier, I have to get a pair of scissors. All right, and we'll continue just trimming that on down. And all right, the rest of this, take the rest of these leaves off. I'm just going to chop up into little bits. Yeah, I want to shoot them across the room. And I'm cutting them into inch-long pieces. Okay, now I have a pile. Small pile of tiny willow sticks. Now let's make some willow water for our root tone. All right, we're going to bring up our water and pour some water in here with these sticks. And then we're going to attach our blender cap. And here we go. All right, now we're going to open this up without spilling it. We'll put this aside. And as you can see, it's kind of a stringy version of pea soup. So now this liquid is packed with the hormones from the willow. So we're going to take Rose of Sharon, we're going to put it in the water, and we're going to let it soak for a minute. Don't forget which end is down. And just let them all soak so the hormones can get absorbed somewhat up into those little branches. This is so simple. And Rose of Sharon are one of those trees, one of those perennials in which we get a lot of requests for. That's a real popular plant in this area. So it's a good one to put and keep in your backyard nursery. All right, so we'll give this about 5 minutes soaking here. Five minutes is up. That's all you should need. So we will put these sticks into the sand. Out of that one branch that I clipped, I have 12 clippings that I'm going to propagate. Now I'll tell you my success rate using this technique is about 70–75%. Not bad. If I come away with 9, not bad, right? Those were free. This is cheap. I didn't even have to buy the rooting hormone because I grew my own. So consider that. Consider keeping a willow plant around the house, if nothing more than to help propagate your other plants. But willow is a highly sought after plant as well, and it's easy to propagate. So we're going to go ahead and take our willow. I'm going to put them right in there with the Rose of Sharon. Use the same container for now. Keep them over in this corner so they're together. Now normally I would take something like this and I would put it in our misting tunnel. For you, you might not have a mist tunnel. So the alternative is in a small pot like this, take your Ziploc bag and just cover over the whole thing. I recommend if you're going to cover it in a plastic bag, make sure it's a clear plastic bag. All right. You don't even have to tape it down. Just let it cover it. This moisture will build up inside here. And when you see that moisture starting to disappear, take it off, spray it with a mist of water so it's nice and moist, and then put your plastic back on. And in about 4 weeks, 6 weeks on the outside, depending on the temperature, you should start seeing roots produced on the bottom of all of these. All right? So now we're going to go over to the mist tunnel. I'm going to pull out the Rose of Sharon's that I did last June. Again, this is early September. Let's go take a look and see how the roots are on those. Oh, and by the way, keep your prunings out of direct sunlight. Keep them in a shaded area. We'll start with this one with the flower, because that is a pretty strong indication there's roots. In fact, I'm going to dump the whole thing out. And you can just look at all those roots. Gonna have to do some untangling, so we'll do that fairly gently. And just shaking roots. Some sticks that obviously didn't propagate. All right, there is Rose of Sharon 1. Good root system. Stick. Rose of Sharon 2 and 3 and 4 with the flower, and 5 and 6, and that's a really good root system. Look at the difference in the thickness of these. This is what? Close to the width of my finger. These are much skinnier. And they both have done very well. One more stick. So I counted a total of 4 sticks. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of 14. Still pretty good odds. Thanks again for joining us here at Newtown Orchard and Nursery. I hope you were able to take away some good information so you can start propagating your own Rose of Sharons. Don't forget the yellow flame willow as well. That's a big benefit to any nursery or any yard. The Rose of Sharon is actually one of the more sought after plants in our nursery. So I hope they'll be in yours as well. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and don't forget to comment. Tell us some of your words of wisdom, your experiences. We're always looking for good information that we can share with our clients and our customers and our friends. Thanks again for tuning in and spending this time with us. Look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Take care.